right turn, Kent?
Yeah.
Normal colour though, that's the only trouble, one yellow.
Mind you, the trouble is, my watch might be fast.
Right, Kevin, today I'll be doing your half-yearly performance review.
Okay, Pete.
Okay.
Yep.
So today I'll be, on this journey down to London and back, I will be checking you on your personal appearance,
yes,
the way you turned out. I'll be checking you on your operating duties, how you work, the safety aspects, your door operation.
Yeah.
I'll also be checking you on your commercial duties, how you carry out your ticket examination, how you deal with the problems and all that. Okay, so I'll be following you about all the way to London, all the way back.
I can remember a few years ago, there was a lady in a shop, and my son takes the longest apprenticeship, diesel engineer, 7 years. I says, I've been 26 years. I says, and I ain't a driver yet. I'm still learning. Nothing more was said.
I shouldn't think there was. Is it worth waiting for?
Yes, I've enjoyed every minute of it. I still do and all, when I can get away from stations.
How are you driving? Afternoon.
Afternoon.
I'm all right, mate. What's this, all this bloody lot then?
BBC camera crew.
How many?
Come and sit down and hold my
Cable
hand.
television, did you say?
No, not cable television, BBC television.
Oh, are we famous then?
Yes, you're going to be on the television.
Right there, bloody cringe. This sound on?
No.
Yes, sounds on, no swearing.
No swearing.
Oh. I started when I was 15, and I got passed for driving when I was 30.
Oh, so you had a
So
shop?
you all didn't do bad then, 15 years.
And I was made a regular driver. I'd got about 20 years in.
Well, you did well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I was 26 years before I got driving.
Yeah, I did exceedingly well as it was going then. Yeah. Our old fellow was a driver, and he was 39 years of age before he got passed for driving. Which was a bloody long time, Ken, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. So you come from a rail family?
They've had about 180 years out of our family, this bloody job.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll come back in a moment, sir. Thank you very much.
Is it a good life?
No.
Why not?
I'll tell you what, our wives want a gold medal every 5 years.
Yeah. You want to
Well,
go
they've got to go
good woman
through.
on this job, mate. Because, I mean, we're sat here with a bloke like this, you're chatting, they're sat at home on their own, aren't they? Less bloody milkman called.
Well, there must be a lot of stress driving a train at 125 miles an hour.
Well, you see, you do it, you don't notice it.
You don't notice it.
But it's got to be there. Same as you get a signalling irregularity or out like that, see. I was coming from London the other week, shot into Woolman Green Tunnel on a green signal, shot out at the other end on a red. Of course, your heart comes up like that. stopped and goes on phone and see him and says, ah, it's only a blip in circuit, mate.
You don't know that.
You really heart's at the back of your teeth, innit?
Yeah. You want a new pair of underpants?
You actually went to the window and purchased them?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you say?
We said one and 2 halves to 1 half to
1 and 1/2
to
to King's Cross.
Yeah.
So how much did you give him then?
And it was over £15, I think.
Over £15? Yeah. Now what's changed did he give you?
I don't know, I was in a hurry.
I'll give you some time to have a look for him, then I'll come back.
No, with that, yeah.
I don't think they've had tickets. I'll soon find out when I question them more now. I'll give it time to find it. So I'll just see what's there.
Oh, it ain't the railway it used to be.
Yeah.
Of course. I was running it. College whiz kids, aren't they?
Any luck?
No, I've looked everywhere for it.
Now, do you want me to ring him up and check this out? Or do you want to tell me what you've actually done?
Well, can you give me a chance to sort of pay it back?
Well, if you tell me what you've done first, this is the main thing. You see, if I go down there now, I've got to ring them up and they will tell me nobody's bought a family rail card discounted ticket, 1.5, Grantham to London at approximately 15:30. To tell me that, then I've got to come back and tell you then that you've been telling me lies.
Well, let's put it this way.
It's a challenge, you know, this is it, isn't it, really? Each day you come, you know, I mean, there's different things happening. I mean,
Well,
like
it's
this
same
week.
with this job, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is.
I mean, I love this job. Once I get away from station and get up road, I'm as happy as I like.
So what I'm saying is it's better to tell me the truth now than mess me about.
Yeah, well, we were stranded.
Yeah, you're stranded. Yeah. You see, there's a procedure for that, if you're stranded. There's a procedure to get you. The way you're doing it now.
Help today, but we couldn't get any help.
Is that why you went in the toilet when you saw the senior conductor coming down? So he's trying to avoid him, see? Have you got anything with your name and address on, please? This is the result of 22 years doing this. You can usually tell.
You can tell.
You get no joy out of it, but you can usually tell. So I deport the lady now. She could finish up being prosecuted.
Fortnight ago, a chap came out the medical home at Halifax, and as the train, I know he was leaving or coming into the platform, he decided to jump in front of the train and kill himself.
I got a poor old bugger last Christmas. By God, I didn't feel that. And he got all his bloody medals waved on us. Royal medals, and his berry with his badge on, and bloody poppy. And I see him stood at the side of the track like. He started running across. And then he fell down like. Of course I realised what was happening. I put bloody brake on and whistled him. Then he picked his sen up and he just knelt at the side of the track, put his head on the rail and looked at me. And he just disappeared under the front. And I thought, Christ, I've stopped in time. And I thought, what do I do now?
You're a bloody blend sod.
I'll have to get him in cab and take him to Mexter and get bobbies. But when I opened the door and climbed off, I bloody trod on him, you know. When I went to court, this detective like says, would you like to read your statement, driver? I said, no, they read it, it's in their handwriting. And this young bobby says to me, can you read? And I thought he was kidding. I looked at him like, and he went, I says, an ignorant pilot like you might be interested to know they even had bloody schools when we were kids, you know. And he buggered off like. But he just threw this old bloke's traps on the table on us as though it were note. I thought that poor old bugger's brought them with him to show the world that he ain't a bloody coward. You know.
Well, that's your lot, cut.
For some people, it seems a game on the railway. I mean, Jim will tell you we get all sorts of people. It isn't only the people who's hard up. It's we've had doctors, dentists, lawyers. I once had an archbishop. Without a ticket. I once had one come from Scarborough. She came out of the exit barrier at Leeds, and she said, "I've no ticket, no money. I've come from Scarborough." She was the biggest made lady, and she had this blouse on it like elasticated across here. And so she said, "I've no ticket, no money, and there's no way I can pay you." So I said, "Well, I'll have to take your particulars down." So she says, "I'll do it for you." And she just flinged these things down. And there was a ticket collector, was a Pakistani lad, and he said, "Oh, missus," he says, "you put your boo-boos away." I says, "You leave her alone, she knows what she's doing."
Now you get young uns come on job, and when there's someone to find out what it entails, to go missing, they're away. You know, when you think you have to get up at this time, you know, and I'm into work Saturday night and Sunday night, and it don't go down well at all. So they, you know, they just go through a training period, which more or less puts them on nice dates, and as soon as they come to crunch it job, they seem to go missing.
Morning.
All right, 4:30.
Hello, Shelley. There you are, that's the one. You sign it, find your name, you should find it. Yeah, got it? That's it. Do that every morning when you come in now. Yeah. This is the chap I was telling you about. It's going to be showing you everything what we do on board for this week one, okay?
Okay then. Don't worry too much. I'll try. Right. Make a start on it. Alright. Where do you want to put the leaves?
Take them with you.
Take them with me, is that alright?
Andy will show you where to put them, okay?
Okay then.
Have you got your knives and everything?
I haven't got any knives. Right, don't worry. Okay then. We'll get by.
Dawn Dillon. Eh?
I'll be giving her a locker at lunchtime, Eric, so...
You'll be giving her a what? Dawn Dillon.
How many days has she got you on here this week? 3, is it? Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You got a day off tomorrow? Yeah. Lucky lad. Eh? Lucky lad. Right. Get used to your days off while you can, because you won't get a lot once you've... It's a good thing is you don't have to work weekends. Yeah. No, chefs don't work weekends.
I'm just going to put a few there, Sally, because I've got a load down in my... what is it? I'm going to put the rest off, all right?
Where do you live? Where do you live? Castleford. Oh, you can forget it. He's getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Castleford.
You like this train, don't you?
I've been on it for 40 years.
How long?
Yeah, you heard, 40 years.
40?
Yeah.
Morning, Margaret. Are you okay, dear?
I'm fine, thank you. You?
Yes, thanks.
No, just coffee. Thank you.
Oh, under there, Dylan.
How many kippers did you say we had? 8?
8, yeah. Right, we've got 8.
No, 6. 22 grill on day.
22, yeah, got them.
5 smoked salmon.
5, yeah.
And 6 kippers.
You don't like all these bodies, does it?
Does he? Hell, never does.
That new girl didn't seem to move much, did she?
You know, Elizabeth.
It's a good job, but after 46 years, you're ready for retiring. We don't compare to foreign drivers in retirement because the Germans retire at 55 and the Austrians retire at 52. We retire at 65.
Yeah.
I usually travel incognito.
It surprised me. Is that Irish?
He's very small, though, isn't he, Eric? Small build, what? What do you think, Eric? Is it coming on?
Well, you know, I'm a connoisseur on this.
Yeah.
I think he's talented.
Do you know, Eric, I've yet to find out what you're not a connoisseur of.
Well, if you're a connoisseur of life, you know.
No, yes,
That's right.
the word there.
Fine, yes.
You're stuck there, Eric.
I know one thing, if I had that talent, I'd go to... Huh?
It's got a big mortgage, though. It's got to do a job.
All right.
Yeah?
I quite like my job, really.
Yeah.
You know.
Rembrandt and all those didn't worry about money, did they?
No.
Have you seen the proposals, by the way? If we agree to conditions at the VAST, just over 13,000. If we want a 37-hour week, it's back down to 10.5 grand. But with 13 and a bit, you lose all your allowances and increments. Otherwise, it's just over 10.5.
That's no good to us.
Newcastle men have got them. Why we haven't got them, God help me.
That's no good to us. Jump in here if you're going. Going now.
Thank you. Sorry.
See you later, Jim. Yeah, okay.
Barry, you've had a meeting with the RMT on senior conductors.
Unfortunately, we're not making the progress that we thought we were going to make, despite the lengthy working party involvement and the joint participative approach we've taken here. We discovered that the proposal we put to them has actually been rejected on 4 key accounts. One is the concept of the quality review and the issue of performance-related pay, which they're unhappy about. Secondly, the issue of contract hours. They're pursuing a policy of trade union desirous a shorter working week, whether it be 35 hours or 37 hours or whatever, but they want that translated into the maximum amount of rostered available hours, and that clearly is unacceptable to us. The other problem is on enhancements, where they want to continue with the process of a significant number of different enhancements to make up pay, whereas we had, of course, proposed that we would actually increase basic quite substantially, whilst at the same time running down the enhancements. And the final area, which is very difficult, is the issue of individual duty days, where clearly we want to go significantly higher than the current rostered maximum of 9 hours, and they do not wish to see a movement beyond that. We have to reconsider our position, I think, in the light of the debate that we had last week, and frankly go back to the RMT, I think, with one final bid to try and get some movement on these key issues.
So essentially where we're at is that we put a proposal to the union as the representative of the senior conductors. The proposal increases earnings,
yes,
reduces hours,
yes,
and increases pension very substantially.
Yes, it does. Yes.
And despite those rather positive things, it is not, at the moment, it is not in fact acceptable to the RMT.
Large parts of Britain have had what's thought to be their coldest weather for 4 years. Bitterly cold winds have produced temperatures well below freezing. The weather, which is being brought about by cold air coming from central Russia, is forecast to last for some time.
The morale went from up here to inches off the floor in a 12-month, and it's a long way back, and they're not getting there at all.
Why is that?
Because they don't listen to the men. They seem hell-bent on making it a service that's going to be easily sold off, that looks good to the private sector. And to do that, the men's conditions and things are being eroded. I mean, we've been fighting for shorter hours, not longer hours, and yet they're proposing a contract week of 46 hours, including Sundays, short turnarounds, things like that. That's going backwards, not forwards. I've got a family at home. I want to spend more time with my family, not at work. You know, Sundays has always been traditionally my day, and I reserve the right to sell them any time that I should spend at home at a premium, and I reserve the right to say no, I don't wish to work weekends and things like that, you know. And at the minute I've got that right, and if I want to sell them at an enhanced rate, I can do. But under the new conditions, I won't have that right. Sundays will become part of the normal working week, and I can't get on with that. If anybody had ever told me I would have stayed on railway for 21 years, I would have laughed at them. Started as a 17-year-old cabin lad. Just making entries in train register. And stayed all this time, eh?
Must be good then.
Well, I enjoy it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it.
I'll have the chicken.
Thank you very much, sir. Will it be down now, sir?
No.
Can? Will it be down, sir?
Yes, please.
I've everything but the pork satellite there. It's all done, I'm afraid.
Okay, well, I'll have the next one. Tolerate Hajuri.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'll just have the salmon.
Just the salmon, sir, okay?
Like some ice, sir? Please. Thank you.
I want to know why the train can't issue Valium to its regular customers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just make sure it's you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Have you had a nice day?
Not had a very good day today. The recession is unfortunately catching up with us at the moment, and being seriously affected today. You know, hopefully we'll pull through. Optimistic. I've got through today anyway.
which was probably one of the most main crises I'll have.
Actually, very few people would have dealt with a day like today because it would have just been too much to cope with. She's my hero.
Got on the train, and it wasn't announced until after we were on the train, just before it left. So I went down and spoke to a man as I was standing in the door, and he was standing outside the door, and he waffled on about something. And then the door shut, and I had 3 big bags on, so I couldn't hop off.
Well, it was advertised before you got on the train.
I didn't know. I didn't know because the queue was outside, and I just asked someone in the queue if that was the train for Leeds.
Yeah.
I really didn't know.
Yeah, but on board it said you could use savers and super savers on this train.
On board where?
On the board at King's Cross.
No, it didn't, because I saw it before we left. It says outward portions and return portions, super saver says no, 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 no to all destinations. And it says yes in black letters, the others are in red.
But I'm afraid I really
yes
didn't
on
see
there.
that. And I got this train before, but I had a full ticket, you see, so I just didn't think. And I did try and get off, but I just didn't have time. I tried to find out if I was okay or not.
Well, you have to pay the excess, I'm afraid.
British Rail is grossly underfunded. I actually feel very strongly that the system breaks down. There's no slack in the system. They don't have the funding to be able to have the spare rolling stock so that if there is a breakdown, they can immediately replace it. So there are delays and passengers naturally get annoyed. But I don't think they should be annoyed with British Rail necessarily. They should be annoyed with a government that won't give a commitment to properly funding and subsidising a public service.
It's been a long day. It's the third day, though. The third day, you're always tired on your third day. Tomorrow and Friday makes it easier. Friday's quieting off. We've been quite busy this week. I think everybody's forgotten about the recession, so we've had quite a busy week.
How many hours paid you out?
Start at 5 o'clock. Book on 5 o'clock, and we'll finish. Well, tonight we're running an hour and something late, so it's about 16 hours by the time we finish today. But usually 14, and if things go right, 14 and a half hours a day.
Yeah, 2 seconds, just no problem, miss.
In the morning I do breakfast, 80 breakfasts this morning. We've less than an hour really to serve that because Eric and Sally's got to get the bills on. So you've 80 breakfasts to knock out in. You've got to have it done within half an hour, 3/4 of an hour.
I might just get last in. Sorry?
Can you sign my card? This train's been late.
For what, sir?
Otherwise I'll be arrested. It's not, I'm not back at a certain time, that's all.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Certainly. Otherwise,
Not good, eh? Struggling a little bit. A lot of sleep, yeah.
Will they get up?
Yeah, just bit at a time, until he gets to the top. Once he gets engine over the top, he'll be sound. Last night, they was asking about what effect the inclement weather would have, and there was assured that it would have no effect whatsoever. So, that's proved not to be the case.
The trains were all delayed initially out of London. Some problem with the overhead lines. Not when I left, no. But it's pretty bad here. Well, it's hard to tell out there. It's pitch dark. But it's obviously some gradient.
For Mr. Pearson, who's meeting me at Bradford. If somebody could just explain that we're being delayed and that I will arrive there eventually.
I actually had a birthday party to go to at 8 o'clock, so it's the kiss of death, is that? Any arrangements like that, the kiss of death. Once again, I can only apologise for the very late arrival of your service and for the fact that my estimated arrival times were a little wide of the mark. Passengers with connections at Leeds should consult platform staff and television screens. Passengers leaving the train, please ensure you have your luggage and personal belongings with you. Once again, on behalf of Intercity, I can only apologise for the late arrival and the inconvenience that this will cause. Leeds next stop. All change, please. Technam's also as long to get from Wakefield as it's took to get up to Wakefield. Marvellous, eh? Excuse me, gents.
Hello, lady, that be?
Iris,
Yes.
do you know Roy Ernst?
No, not really.
You mean he doesn't tell you what he earns?
No, not fully.
So what do you earn, Roy?
I'm not telling you. No, this is the rates for our job now. Now, come in here, Malcolm, you've got to see this. Now, this don't show you any stoppages. But these are the sort of wages you get. 206, 211, 133, 182, 110, 114. See, them's more or less bare weeks, them. You know, a flat week. But you worked every day, you worked trains every day. See? And I give Irish her wages, and I'll finish up with about £2.10 for me 10. And then, listen.
Don't believe that, Mark.
Then I'll go in my drawer upstairs where I've chucked my napkins, you know, when I've had a good week. That's how you carry on. You see, a good week pays for a bad week. You see, we have a great table, and we're comfortable with everything we want. Within reason, aren't we? Yeah.
You see what you've had today? I wouldn't do it special just for you. That's what we would have had today.
Yeah, well, if you wanted to be in there, you see, I'd have had 4 more chops.
Many parts of the country have suffered with temperatures well below zero. At Gatwick, the temperature dipped to minus 11 degrees centigrade. On the railways, the majority of services are running normally, though BR warned that frozen points could cause delays in some areas.
British Rail is not as reliable as perhaps the German Bundesbahn. And therefore, I'm a bit disappointed how they handle all these problems here. And in the breakfast television, yes, I saw yesterday a feature that everybody was prepared, even British Rail, for the next, what is that, snap? Cold snap, yes. Elaine. This is Harold Schmidt. Miss Gathercole, I am trapped in a train, and we just got the information that ahead of us, there is a failed train, and we are approaching Doncaster, and I hope that I can meet you in the afternoon. Is that possible, or are you engaged, or do you have scheduled other meetings? Because I got up at 5:30 to meet you at 2 o'clock.
I've been on to him. The points has failed now. They've gone up with a clamp, so I don't know.
Thanks.
We're off. Okay.
Won't be with the red hat, yeah?
Do you think it'll last forever, this snow?
One for Wayne. What have I?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tell you what, we're going to cop it here. This is on for the day here, isn't it? It's going to be 3 foot tonight.
I don't like the look of this. I think we should pack it in at lunchtime.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Should we go through the snow?
Go dig myself back in. It's just not healthy.
Apologise to passengers for your late departure from Doncaster. This was due to a failed train on the junction at the front of this train. This train is now expected to arrive at Leeds at approximately 14:45.
Apparently we found out what it is when the train's going down. The engine is at the back and all the snow's going into the engine. So...
Yes, Eileen, gather coal, please. Yes, this is again Harold Schmidt. Let's make a new day. I am now between Wakefield and Leeds, but the train is moving, let's say, 1 mile in 4 hours. Yes, I'm turning on the heels and go back.
Why, Mr. Worrell? Why has it gone so badly wrong?
We have had a particular problem with this type of snow, and it has on this occasion been very dry and powdery, and it has actually penetrated all the protection that we have on our traction motors beneath our multiple units and on some of our locomotives.
The snow came in through an air intake, which provides cooling to the main traction motor choke. The snow then went through the choke, collected in the main junction box. When it then melted, it stayed in that area and provided a short current for the traction motor cable in that vicinity, which then burnt out.
It seeped through into the junction box here, and where it's melted, it's stayed in that area and caused all that burning damage.
He couldn't get his car out of the drive, but the taxi's got to his house, right?
Right.
And that's his docket.
The Bairstow's phoned and he can't get here, Bairstow.
When's that just come on?
5:47 and 1:40.
Well, that's another one now. Give us that docket as well.
I've nobody to send. I've got about 5 down myself now.
Morning. Morning, John.
Cold one this morning?
Where you been?
It's not cold in here. Not bad.
What are we doing then this morning?
The Pullman is Mark IV stock, loco hauled, with no electrics attached at all. Oh, dear. Because the electrics have been withdrawn.
What am I doing? I'm getting in my class. Yep. This is what you've come into the top link, man. This is what you'll have to stand. I've never seen anything like this, have they?
It's time and time again, management, bloody rubbish all the way down. You get rid of the practical men and the job stops. This is it. We used to laugh at the old chaps as they retired. There's a saying on the railway, when he retires, job card goes. I know, it's an old-fashioned saying, job card goes. And a lot of the old fellas used to think that when they finished, the job would stop altogether. I expect the same in any industry and trades. But these fellas actually thought it would happen, that people couldn't do the job. Well, as I'm getting older, I'm beginning to believe the same. I aren't going to say that they're going to do it any different from me, but I can see it from the management's point of view. Oh dear. Happy days.
Change fee 5 and 5's 10. Thanks, yes please.
Tomato sandwich and a Diet Coke, please.
Now we're 100 mile away. How's that? We've an hour and 20 minutes to get there in 100 miles. Can we do it?
It's not so much a difficult job, it's a difficult environment to work in, really. It's different.
So how are these new starters?
I don't think the lad will stay much longer there. The new chef is already talking about it. He says, I'll give it a couple of months and then I'll see how I feel. So if he's looking for a way out already.
Don't keep trying the brake all the time. Otherwise there's problems.
Simon, do you want to again add anything on this? The normal statistics don't seem to be very meaningful when we're shutting our stations for 2 hours or more at a time.
Well, that is the main factor in the week. This was the third week of disruption. We'd had the snow, and then on Monday morning, of course, all the London stations were closed from 7:45. On the Monday, immediately after we got King's Cross opened, we had a bomb scare at Peterborough. Tuesday followed a similar pattern. Wednesday we had bomb scares at York, Edinburgh, Peterborough and Darlington one day. And then in the evening we had problems with the wires at Holloway.
You got nearly 60% of your trains to destination within 10 minutes
We got
time.
nearly 60% there within 10 minutes.
Well, can you make sure you go back with John Nelson and congratulate the people who put in that extra performance?
Well, there was more comradeship among the drivers altogether and more railwaymen.
Well?
Definitely.
But we've had the best, haven't we? I wouldn't like to start now.
No way I would recommend anybody to come on the railway.
Things have changed so dramatically that...
48 years. My father before me, 47 years. And my grandfather before him, 41 years. And if anybody of my family wished to come on the railway now, I would literally strangle them.
Righto, mate. All right, brother. Righto, mate.
Right. Been okay, brakes are all right.
Righto, brother.
What can I see do 100? It's not kicking out up now.
Ah. I don't think this country's railway minded. It's all for cars and roads. I mean, what we're going to spend in Leeds area for a little bit of road, 1.5 billion. I don't think it costs that to electrify this lot. With a lot of investment. New trains, new stations, new lines. And I should think in 20 years' time they'll wish they had done.